Syndicated presents Shep and Sean, featuring Matt Shepard and Sean Baligian.
How you doing? I know you're probably doing what Shep and I were doing up until about 30 seconds ago and watching the Tiger game. 1-0, which Shep actually terrifies the sin out of me because Todd and I were just talking about how this is going to play itself out. Scooble's going to give us 7 wonderful innings, and then we're going to go to the pen, and then the Indians are going to find a way to scratch a run or two.
But he should be going longer though.
Oh, 100%.
That's the issue I have. It's
100%.
I don't even know, and I'm not saying it's just Detroit, but I'm not. A lot of times, instead of people looking at pitch count, look at how many times you're going through the order.
Yep.
And there's too many managers today who just go, you know what, third time through the order, sorry, you're up. If he's dominating them like he has been today, a lot of swings and misses. I said this earlier today. You know, people think it's an automatic win with Tarek Skubal, and I understand why, because he's the best pitcher, best left-handed pitcher on the planet. Paul Skeens could make an argument of best pitcher overall, but Gavin Williams is a good player, man. Dude, he's created a lot of swings and misses himself. He's given Cleveland a pretty good cushion there until Riley Green just hit a solo homer in the 6th. So now it's 2-0. So people will be like, oh my God, why in the world? You know, what about Riley Green? Too many swings and misses, too many strikeouts. Well, he just, hit home run number 35. A pretty important home run. But I mean, people need to, understand that Skubal from here on out, if he gets Sunday against Boston, he's going up against ones, man. And those guys are pretty good too.
Yep. No doubt about that. So 2-0. Obviously, we'll keep apprised of that. I've said this before. Shep's a better man than I am in a myriad of ways. He's probably watching the game right now. I couldn't do it. I would be useless. What'd you say, Shep? Literally, I have to focus my attention here. That ADD that's just running wild, coursing through my veins would not allow me. Good evening to you, Tom. Enjoyed the game last night. Shep, that's an understatement. When you think of the last couple of years, some of the big regular season W's, okay? This goes up there with just about any of them. The Minnesota game was special last year with everything that was going on with the injuries and what Aaron Glenn did, the master class that he did to a really good head coach in KOC and a really good team in the Vikings. That might be at the top of the list, but my gosh, in this renaissance of the Lions, you would have to put last night's performance up there as well.
Yeah, I think, and I know you talked about it on your show earlier today. I talked about it on our show with Braylon. I thought the winning Kansas City 2 years ago on opening night, Thursday night in Kansas City, they're coming off a Super Bowl championship, getting their rings. I think they played without Taylor Decker. I thought that even though it wasn't a high scoring game, I think people look at the score. They see Detroit's got a lot of wins, a lot of points against Baltimore. Let's face it, Sean. Baltimore is viewed as a physical, hard-nosed, tough team and a winning franchise, and rightfully so.
Yep.
Detroit was more physical. They punched him in the mouth. You and I don't know how good Baltimore is. We think they're the best team in the AFC North, but we don't know how good they are.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? They gave up a lot of points to Buffalo. It took a late surge for them to, pull away from Cleveland. I don't know how good they are. But I don't care what you say. Anytime you do that to Lamar Jackson, and you do that to Zay Flowers, do that to Derrick Henry, have him start talking to himself a little bit, pretty damn good. Pretty damn good. So I think it's a top 4 regular season win for Dan Campbell in his coaching career in Detroit. I hope there's more of them.
My buddy Jason in Escanaba says hello to you. 7 sacks last night, and Shep.
Most ever against Lamar Jackson.
Isn't that amazing? And it was kind of funny. He was, while not the level that you spoke of with Henry, it was his comments after the game. Yeah, they put a spy on me and they just kept grabbing my ankles. It was kind of funny the way that he said it. And, rightfully so. You heard Dan Campbell make reference to it a couple times. Lord knows people had fun with "we're good." And you know what? Last night, they were good. And it goes to show you, I don't want to take anything away from AQM, but I think you and I had a unique perspective watching people feast at some of the work of Ndamukong Suh. Shout out to Cliff Averill while we're at it. And you know what? When so much focal point is put on a particular guy, that's going to open some opportunities on the line. And I think you see that with the way Hutchinson won.
Yeah, it's a great point when you're focused so much on Aiden Hutchinson. I thought played pretty well overall. I don't know if there's, outside of Terrion Arnold, anybody on that defense who struggled and who I wouldn't have been tempted to give a game ball to. You know what I mean? It's still, even though AQM, I use the nickname Aquaman today because of the AQM and because of his ability to swim by offensive linemen. I would say he's a guy, it's a great story, but it doesn't mean that there's depth there.
Yep.
And I think Lions fans recognize that too. It's almost like the MLB trade deadline where you sit there and you go, okay, we've got some starting pitching. And then suddenly you want depth, but it's not the best depth. And then you start to wonder, oh my gosh, what are we going to do about it? And I think it's similar to what the Lions probably are going through right now.
If only I could think of a scenario of a general manager adding 2 arms to a starting pitching staff that didn't exactly pan out. I'll get back on that. Maybe we'll get to that at some point.
I would tell you it's more than 2. I mean, there are 2 big names, but there's more than 2. Yes. Thank you for that.
Haunted house.
It's my dog. My dog opens the damn door. Every time you and I are together, I keep that door shut. And if there's a door shut in our house, the dog feels like I've got to open it. What am I missing? Oh, it's just you and Sean again. I'll leave. And he doesn't shut the door.
That dude, that's DASBBT, whatever initials. That's great. That made me laugh out loud. Shep, can I ask you about TA? Because look, all right, let's
Terrion Arnold, you're talking about?
Yes. Let's.
Why did he ask you to do a podcast with him? Are you leaving me to do a podcast?
No.
Instead of Patrick Surtain?
My guy's struggling. Okay, he's struggling. All right. And both things can be true. I remember not that long ago, there was a guy by the name of Darius Slay that this fan base was killing for a good year and a half.
Yeah, it's different. It's a lot different. And here's why. Darius Slay at Mississippi State, Darius Slay was a man-to-man cover corner.
Mm-hmm.
When he came to Detroit, Jim Schwartz and company, he was playing a lot of zone. And he struggled against the zone.
He sure did.
I don't know if it was the concepts or what. I've heard plenty of stories. I had a lot of conversation with those players back then. Let's just say the concepts didn't come as easy to him. Okay. They then went to man for him on his, at least on his side, and he thrived. Terrion Arnold's in man. He's struggling in man. I don't care who you are, Sean. You can go back and look at the greatest cover corners in the history of this league. You know what they were all great at? Man-to-man.
Yep.
And that's my concern about Terrion Arnold. They play a ton of man. I love that, actually. I do. Means you got to get home. And Detroit got home 7 times. And it was a struggle. So I said before the year, Sean, and I like the kid. I said before the year, he's going to prove to be a number 1 cover corner. You watch what happens this year. And he's been bad. Okay. It's just as simple as that. And it's not like I'd bench him and say you're never playing again.
Right.
People have to remember Amik Robertson came in and he got burned a couple of times. This is going to happen, for crying out loud, in the National Football League, especially with these great wide receivers. But if I'm the Lions, I'm doing everything I possibly can to make sure DJ Reed is on the best wide receiver on the other team.
It's 2-1, by the way. I don't even want to tell you what happened. My son texted me and I don't believe him. But anyway, actually I should believe him with everything that's gone on, but that's a different thing.
Well, Jose Ramirez, right? It was a pop-up single.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some magic mixed in there. But listen, let me
I mean, look, it happens to us and we love it.
Yes.
And it happened to us a lot in the first half of the season. It happened to us a lot last year.
No doubt.
And it happens to Cleveland, and it's frustrating. Not to derail you, and I apologize, but the Tarek School thing, it's like one big. We're going to rely on him, and I get it because he's the best there is. But my God, man, I mean, the offense, the bases loaded, and you couldn't get it done. Okay, Zach McKinstry strikes out, and then another strikeout or another ground out or whatever it is. It bases loaded with one out, couldn't push another one home. I mean, they're not. They were terrible last weekend with runners in scoring position, and they're struggling in that regard here again tonight. I
love Tigers threaten but do not score. It's one of my favorite games. It's passed on through the generations, Shep. It really is.
Honestly, do you think they're feeling it?
No. Nope.
You don't think they're gripping that bat a little tighter? You don't
think 1,000%. I took you the wrong way. When they're not. No, what I meant is they're not feeling it. They look like a team that's just not feeling. Is what I meant. You know what I mean?
I understand. Then I'm with you. Yeah.
So very quickly on TA, because I feel the exact same way. I think there's a confidence there. I think this is a franchise that has a pretty good gauge on talent and everything. You've heard it 1,000 times. You've worked with guys that have said it. I've worked with guys that have said it. You've heard guys say it down there. There is a learning curve at that position that doesn't exist at other positions. There just is. Okay,
outside of quarterback.
Yeah, absolutely. And tight end's pretty difficult too. Like I remember Lomas explained it to me. You got to remember they have the blocking assignments. They have this. They have that. There's a lot. Okay, with all that being said, I think we still, in a certain regard, are too quick to say this guy's a bum. I'm not ready to say that yet. Both things can be true. He is struggling. Let there be no mistake. He's struggling. Don't make excuses for him and everything. But at the same time, Shep, I have hope that there's still something there that he can turn into that which we drafted him to be.
Agreed. I don't think he's a bum either. I trust Brad Holmes' judgment and the scouts' judgment. I think he's athletic. If you want to call it an excuse, go ahead. But I made the excuse in the offseason. Last year, he was running with guys. He wasn't that far off. It's like, remember the Mark Andrews touchdown last night?
Mm-hmm.
Alex Anzalone was in coverage there. Was that good coverage?
Yeah.
Excellent coverage.
Tremendous coverage.
Unbelievable throw. Great catch. If Terrion Arnold's doing that this year, I've got no issue with it. Sometimes those guys are going to make plays. Sometimes those guys are on the money. There's really good coverage with certain guys. The Amon-Ra St. Brown touchdown. Was that good coverage? You're damn right that was good coverage.
Yep.
But it was just a great throw and a great catch. Terrion Arnold, that's not happening enough. Terrion Arnold, too many times, guys are getting away from him, Sean.
Yep.
I'm not smart enough to know the answer to that. And I sure as hell don't think he's a bum. I think he's athletic. I think he'll be a good player. But there's something amiss there. And Braylon's brought this up. It's a really good point. Last year, Aaron Glenn, who was a corner and a really good one for a long time in the NFL, Aaron Glenn helped a lot with Terrion Arnold's progression. This year, Kelvin Shepard is a linebacker and a linebacker's coach. Is he doing the same? Don't know.
Do you know who is a bum, Shep? I just want to get this off my chest. That David Montgomery's a bum, and I think the Lions should cut him, and I don't like him, and he's not a fit for this team. And I'm going to keep saying things like that because he felt disrespected in the offseason, and he said he's the forgotten commodity. And I like his anger, so I want him to stay angry. So I'm going to keep saying bad things about him to keep him pissed off.
I love him.
That 31-yard touchdown run made my pants come off. I had a room full of people, and I said, you guys, I'm sorry. I have no control over this. It's all Montgomery's fault. I'll pull your pants up. I can't. Do you understand? I can't. David Montgomery did this to me. Shep, love the guy. I really do. I absolutely love the guy.
I do, too. I think he's exactly what Detroit is all about. The only thing I would say to that is I hope he took his linemen out to dinner at some point.
Amen.
Hank Friend, early on, Sean, they weren't getting the push. Everybody saw it, right? Gibbs was getting caught behind the line of scrimmage. Something clicked, and you and I both know this. The beauty of a running game, and I sat next to somebody in Green Bay at Lambeau Field when I went to the season opener, and they were complaining about running the football and how there's nothing there. And I said, it doesn't mean you abandon it, because running the football in the National Football League is not, hey, I'm getting 11 yards a pop. It's, I'm going to get a couple here, I'm going to get 3 here, I'm going to get 4 here, and then suddenly something will pop. And I thought Detroit just, I hate the phrase imposed your will, because I'm not sure I necessarily believe in that, but they were just so physical, and the zone blocking was so good. The double teaming was so good. And you know what? It's not just the offensive line, Sean. Those tight ends, Sam Laporta and Brock Wright, were fan-flippin-tastic when it came to blocking. And I think all around, it's hard to give them anything but an A right now for what they did.
I'm not even going to play the coordinators game, okay? I'm not. I want to so badly. Time and place.
I was all over it last night.
We'll revisit that one day. We will revisit that one day. Today is not the day yet. Shh.
Wild pitch 2-2.
You a big Mel Gibson fan? Remember the Patriot when he looks at the British captain and he said, "Soon." Yeah. Soon we're going to have that conversation. MLB schedulers need to learn spacing wise. The last 12 games of the season have like 9 against Cleveland. Dang, we seem to only be playing them lately. Sewell was insane last night.
Remember, in the past, you used to have faced the team 19 times.
Yes.
That's just this year. I think that's kind of an odd situation. I agree with you, but I don't think it's not a common theme for Detroit overall. But as I said, Derek Skubal with the wild pitch, so it's 2-2.
Sewell was insane last night. Dude is literally perfect. Might make one mistake a game. Give me OT highlights. I love that.
Pressure against
insane. D-Mont is hanging on by a thread, I tell you. Absolutely. I listen. I'd cut his ass. If it were me, I'd cut his ass. He doesn't belong.
Because you can always bring him back because nobody's going to pick him up.
Nobody's going to bum. Boo. You think there are people out there that haven't seen you with your pants off? That's a good point, Scalzo. Scalzo and we worked in Toledo many years ago. There were many pantless days. I'm telling you, Shep. Sean, put your pants on. No, they're not coming back up. I don't know.
Make me.
Kevin said he might be struggling, but defensive backs are at so much of a disadvantage in the NFL right now. They have to figure out how to thwart the system, if that makes sense. Am I wrong? I will say this, Shep. I don't think anybody can deny this. The game has changed so dramatically in the last 10 to 15 years. They are literally punishing defensive backs. They are. There's no other way to say that.
I think he's right.
I would agree.
I think you're both right. In talking with so many NFL scouts over the years, you and I both recognize that they'll tell you the hardest position to adjust to is quarterback, because of the speed, because of the various coverages in the NFL and defense, and because of how good everybody is on the opposite side of the ball. Not to mention the playbooks, but also number 2 would be corner. And that's because of the speed and the physicality of things and how many times they mix coverages and a lot of different reasons. But those are 3 of the primary ones. I think Terrion Arnold can be really good. I wish I was more of a secondary aficionado to recognize what he needs to do to get better. I'm confident they'll fix it. I am. But I worry about his confidence. And I know this is a very minor thing. I don't think this is a huge deal, but I don't understand the whole, I'm going to do a podcast now with Patrick Surtain. I think it's stupid. Okay. Concentrate on what you're doing. I know you want to make some money. Concentrate on what you're doing, please, and make yourself better instead of doing and worrying about a damn podcast. Amon-Ra St. Brown can do a podcast. You know why? He's elite. He's a top 5 player at his position. You're not. Concentrate on what you got to do to get better first.
By the way, Shep, reason number 2,388 why the schedule game is so dumb, and I openly admit that I'm part of the problem because I play it so often. Can I tell you the next 4 games before the bye? I know you know them, but let me just say it out loud, okay? The Browns at home.
Good defense. Really good defense.
Really good defense. We saw it. At the Bengals, That doesn't look so terrifying now.
Agreed. That's why you don't play the schedule game. You don't play wins and losses.
But I play it anyway, Shep.
We all do. We all do.
I can hear my old man right now. What did I tell you? You're so dumb. You know what?
Yeah, because Joe Burrow, if Joe Burrow's there, it's completely different. Jake Browning, now you feel like, oh, that should be an automatic.
3-2 tried, by the way. So the Bengals.
Oh, Sean's head is going to be, folks. I want you to stay tuned. All right. You see that blue hat? You see the blue hat right there? That blue hat. It's either going to be thrown in the air or it's just going to be popped in the air because his head is going to explode. That headset cannot hold it right now.
Shep, I swear to God. Okay, I'm so serious when I say this. It isn't even about me. It isn't. I swear to God. It's about a little bit. No, it's about our kids. Like honestly. Like I watch my son literally live and die with this team like for his entire lifetime. And I've watched this team take like years off my young son's life.
And tell him not to. Tell him not to.
How's it worked out for guys like us, right?
It's just you know, I don't want to go so as far as to say this is who they are, because that's not fair. Okay. But it shows you how challenging and how difficult a baseball season is. All right. But let's face it. If something happens here, and you're right, it's 3-2 as they head to the 7th, which is right where Cleveland wants it. I mean, there's no excuse for blowing a 15-game lead.
None. None.
Okay? They're absolutely not. You know, we can talk about Detroit's comeback last year. I said this year at the trade deadline on Woodward Sports, and I got a lot of heat for it. I said, who's to say it couldn't happen the opposite this year of what happened last year? And people are like, you're a hater. No.
I love hater.
It's not that I'm a hater. I just don't believe their starting pitching is good enough. That's all. I hope I'm wrong, and I do. And it still could be. I mean, just because even if they lost tonight and it's tied, okay? The division is tied. The problem is you lose with your best. That's a problem. Or you lose with your best. That's an issue. And tomorrow it's Bybee against Flaherty. And then it's the ever-imposing TBD in the third game of the series for the Tigers.
No. It's over, bitches. Lions preview said we never beat the Bengals. It's the curse of the Bengals. Longest number of years losing to a team. 1992 was the last win. Yes, 1913 back in 1992.
I did not know that.
Yeah, 19. Well, now, that's all fair. But I like our chances against Browning and the Bengals. I'm not going to lie. I do. I like our chances.
But let me ask this question. How many times have they met?
Hold on. I'm going to look that up. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They have a 7-game losing streak. They lost in 98, that overtime game. Remember that?
No.
Scott, I think that was Scott Mitchell's last start. I think that was his last start. 98, 01, 05, 09, 13, 17, 21. Wow. Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Well, it has been late. Okay. I get
it. That's incredible. Shauner's head is going to go scanners. No, you know why it's not though, Shep? I hate to say this, and I'm not that guy. I've kind of accepted how things are going to go. I have, and I hate to say that because I'm usually not that guy.
With what? With the Lions or the Tigers?
With the Tigers. I've kind of accepted where it's going to go. So, I hope I'm wrong.
So you and I have been on this friendly chat for a little bit. What some people may have missed was that there was a bunt down the first base line, which automatically will trigger people into saying, see, well, that's what the Cleveland Guardians do really well. They play small ball. Oh, my God. What Tarek Skubal did, though, is, I'm sorry, it's inexcusable. If Jack Flaherty does it, you want him gone. If Casey Mize does it, you want him sent down to Toledo. He got the ball, he threw it between his legs and threw it over the head of Spencer Torkelson. It's a moronic play. You're hoping to be on SportsCenter. Just eat the ball. It's easy for me to say that now. He's a competitive guy. It's a stupid play. And I just don't know, I'll be very interested to see what kind of pushback you get tomorrow on that and I get tomorrow on that.
Yes, it was Mitchell's last game. In fact, he never threw another pass for the Lions after that.
Great memory, Sean.
My guess is, I remember that I was covering, and I don't want to say which player it was, but I was still working at the station in Toledo, and a player told me off the record, and it was a very prominent player. I'll leave it at that. A very prominent player in a moment of frustration said, "We just threw the bleeping season away," and the season faltered from then. They felt that handing the reins to a rookie quarterback, a guy that you were very familiar with by the name of Charlie Batch, they felt like handing the reins to a rookie quarterback was basically throwing the season away. And we heard later that was part of the frustration for one number 20 Barry Sanders as well. That that went into his decision that came 9 months later
because
to call it quits.
Because players know, Sean.
Mhm.
I mean,
Mhm.
they don't have to look at a ton of tape when they're practicing with guys. They know who's better and who's not.
Mhm.
They know what's going on. I had that debate with my good friend, God rest his soul, Drew Sharp. We were at Lions camp, and Dante Culpepper is there, and Matthew Stafford was the first overall pick. And we went for a number of days. And I remember he and I did a show together, I think right after you or right before you. And they said, he said, you got to start Culpepper. And I said, no, you start Stafford. It's clear. And in talking to players, they knew it too. It's no different than 2006 when Jim Leland had to take Verlander and Zumaya north. Why? Because he said every player knows damn well those guys belong on our roster because they're going to make us better.
Yep.
And it's probably the same thing way back then. So that's an interesting nugget on the Bengals.
Shep, I totally remember that game. I remember and it was an absolute like so many other locker rooms. It was literally like going to a memorial service. Those guys were in a state of shock, and they knew that the decision was nigh. That Scott Mitchell, if I'm not mistaken, Lions review preview. Didn't he throw a pick six in overtime? I think it was a pick six in overtime. And that was literally the last throw he made as a Lion. Like I'm almost positive that's how it. You know how it is, especially when you're a young kid. Like I was a young kid, okay.
Yeah.
And you tend to remember those games and those moments more than you did some random game in 2007 or whatever.
It's a great memory because I like I said, I covered that team that entire all that time, and I can't remember all that.
Yeah, it was.
They all run together for me.
Thank you for that Lions preview. Hey, if you're ready to take charge of your financial future, look no further than the Wealth Advantage Group, located in historic downtown Northville, owned by those two handsome fellas right there, the Husak brothers, over 20 years of industry experience. Listen, you guys, these are guys that understand that your path and my path and Shep's path could be three different things. They work with clients throughout all stages of life. They have clients in over 20 different states. The investment world is a complex one. So if you're ready to start taking your finances more seriously, I highly suggest calling these guys. They're great guys. They'll take care of you like they've taken care of my family. The Wealth Advantage Group at 248-773-8574, or check out their website at www.thewealthadv.com.
Don't wait too long, man. Do not wait too long on those finances. Make sure
Oh, God.
those guys as quickly as possible. They'll help you long term, even if you're a really young person. Man, start right now. Every little bit helps. So.
As God is my witness, Shep, I'm not joking. I literally hooked my son up with them on his birthday. I said, it's time, and I don't care how much you put away per paycheck. It's the shit that I started when I was in 1995 down in Toledo, man. And I thank God every day I did.
Well, you got 3 homes and a boat and a cottage. It's good for you.
Listen, Chiefs or Baltimore will be 1-3. Can I get your take on the Chiefs? Have you seen much of the Chiefs?
Oh, yeah.
I have stuck up for the Chiefs many times in years gone by.
Yeah.
I have told people, calm down when Aiden O'Connell beat him not once, but twice. Shep, they don't look good. They do not that game on Sunday night was so bad. Even Mike Tirico, the pro of pros, was like, and that's the end of a not very good first half. I don't know what it is. I think part of it's offensive line. I think part of it is Kelsey's intuition last year that maybe he should call it quits was right. But they're off, Shep. There's no other way to say that.
Yeah, and they don't really have that big play wide receiver. Xavier Worthy's a good player, but I mean, um, I think it's a bigger game for Kansas City than Baltimore because I think Kansas City's division is tougher. You're going to get Chargers are 3-0, man, and if you can't get too far behind, Baltimore's still the best team in their division. I don't think anybody believes Aaron Rodgers is going to lead the Steelers to a division title there, or Jake Browning's going to do that, or Joe Flacco's going to do that. So I think there's more margin for error for Baltimore. It's surprising that Kansas City has looked the way they have. Doesn't mean it's over, okay? Because it wasn't just a few years ago. They started off, I think, 1-3, and they ended up winning the Super Bowl.
Yep.
So they can get it back. I don't doubt that because I think Andy Reid's the best coach in football. But I'll tell you, man, it's you're seeing some teams that look very susceptible. If people thought Detroit looked susceptible opening week, Philly looked susceptible last week, didn't they, Sean?
Oh,
San
yeah.
Francisco's got a ton of injuries. I think the Rams are really good, but they couldn't hold on to a 26-7 lead. Baltimore looks susceptible, and I would say Kansas City does as well. The team that might be the most impressive so far, besides the Colts, is the Chargers. They look incredible. And I think that's a division that the Chargers are going to handle. I think they're going to win that division. And I think they're going to be one of those teams. It's either them or Buffalo who's going to be that one seed in the AFC.
Now Shauner has a money tree orchard that rivals most apple orchards. The problem is my kids know. They raid my money trees. It is unbelievable. Lauren and her boyfriend were in my backyard late last night.
I bet they were.
I'm out there. I'm out there enjoying my victory dip, and I see two people with wheelbarrows. It's my daughter and her boyfriend just wheeling away my money tree. Okay, guys, pick at will.
Hey, folks, there's a reason Sean has his own personal spot at Lady Jane's. He's the only one. The only one. Okay, it's not Darren McCarty. It's not Braylon Edwards. It's not even Chad Johnson who owns it. It's Sean Baligian. And you don't get that without at least a couple of money trees in the backyard.
Yeah. Hey, listen, when it comes time to get yourself a house, whether you're buying, selling, or both, you need to contact the right agent. Who do you need to contact? You need to contact Lindsay Broadwell. Your house is probably the biggest investment you'll ever make, and that's why you need a pro. Lindsay grew up on the mean streets of Northville and has expanded her team all over Southeast Michigan. She's an expert in all facets of the business. And when it's time to move, our friend Lindsay and her team will make sure you get the most out of your house and everything goes smoothly when finding your new home. Buyer, seller, even first-time buyer. Make sure you contact Lindsay at BroadwellHomes.com. She'll help you with everything from start to close. Licensed realtor at Real Broker LLC. Start your search today at BroadwellHomes.com. Shep, before we get out of here in just a minute, because I know you and I both want to watch the end of the game, real quick, thoughts on Michigan, Michigan State. I stayed up. Let me say this. Aiden Childs has taken a step up.
Yes.
Period. End of story. And I'm a guy that said, I promised you when he took a step up, I say it, he's taken a step up.
Good for you.
They have a couple of nice shiny pieces on the offense. They don't have a line, and they have
Nick Marsh. Yeah, love their tight end and love Nick Marsh. Yep.
And they have no defense. And they're going to fight to 6 wins. And Michigan, it wasn't pretty, but at the end of the day, you go on a road in a hostile environment and you get a win. You never apologize for a win.
Yeah, I thought Michigan, the Michigan game, they could have won by a bigger margin. I don't think there's any question about that. Hail Mary. I mean, what a joke. I think Michigan State fans, I know it's easy to be negative because of how things have gone recently. I would be really encouraged with their offense. They've got to do something about their defense.
It's incredible.
And what that is, I can't necessarily say. That concerns the hell out of me. You can beat certain teams on your schedule the way that you have it designed, but you're not beating the good teams on your schedule with that defense.
No doubt.
Not. That said, I think Jonathan Smith, you can use this type. It depends on the success overall. I thought they would win at least 7 games. I didn't see the defense being this badly, but I think they can still win 7 games, and I think that can parlay them into something else. So that would be really encouraging. What they need, though, Sean, what they really need, you and I just don't have. Because yours is in a wheelbarrow with your daughter and her boyfriend. They need people to start paying in the NIL, and I know it's ugly. There you go. But that's the odds.
Listen, I've filled that swear jar, but maybe I should just donate it to Michigan State for NIL.
Or have someone like Taylor Lewan make a bet and win it, so they pay you $50,000 like they did with the Michigan-Nebraska thing. It's a real issue. It is. It's a real issue. I hate that, and I think you do too. I hate that this is the way it has to be.
Yep.
But it's the way it is.
It's the way it is.
Okay?
I just want to go to Duke's Mayo Bowl. Honestly, I don't think that's asking too much. I want my daughter. I promised my daughter I'd take her throughout her whole college career. I said, wherever Michigan State goes, that'll be our vacation. And I want her to dump mayo on me. I don't think that's much to ask, Shep.
I don't even know where the Mayo Bowl is. It used to be Understandable. Now I have no idea what you're referring to. But I do. Are you sure you don't want to? I figured you as a Pop-Tart bowl.
Oh, could you imagine that?
Pop-Tarts.
Diving out of the toaster. Ha ha! Here I am.
How great is that? With no pants.
No pants on. Hey, All About Catering, LLC, full service caterer, graduations, weddings, bridal showers, corporate events, anything you need catering for from 25 to 4,000 people. All About Catering can and will take care of you. Customer service and satisfaction is the number one goal. Rick and his staff do an outstanding job taking care of you and yours. They've done it for us. They'll do it for you. So don't sweat your next big event. Just go to allaboutcateringllc.com today to see their menus and all their 5-star reviews. Give them a jingle, 586-731-1398 to get your event started.
One of my favorite things, Sean, one of my favorite things,
Yeah.
ESPN.com, their front page. You would think, with baseball being in its final week and you've got this battle royale going on in Cleveland, that would be the front page. Oh, no. WNBA, baby. The playoffs are there.
Oh.
Read it and weep.
Oh. What time? Where?
Oh.
Jack, turn on the game.
Jack,
Shep.
Jack, Sandy Brondello got fired. Who? Sandy Brondello.
Check out Shep in the morning, and then Braylon and Shep do a great job on Woodward. We'll talk to you at 8 a.m. as well. Shep, always a pleasure, bud. Enjoy the week.
Always good to see you, bud.
Thank you, Todd. God bless you guys. See you. Bye.
Thanks, pal.
Shep and Sean, featuring Matt Shepard and Sean Baligian. Executive produced by Sean Baligian and Todd Losey. Theme song, incidental music, and related sound effects are from Still Alive by Anti-Ghost. Engineering, mixing, and graphic design support provided by the Unsyndicated Podcast team. Don't forget to like and subscribe on all your favorite channels. While you're there, be sure to rate and review the podcast. Call the Unsyndicated hotline at 248-237-3257.